Hey, welcome back everyone. I am Matt Larson, and I just got done watching the amazing speech that Dr. Benjamin Carson gave at the National Prayer Breakfast with Obama actually there present. It was amazing. He hit on many key issues that are definitely crucial to today's society. One main point that I really want to emphasize, because I know a lot of people, they don't like that I watch sports. I do. I played athletics growing up, and I just enjoy watching them and playing them. But he made a really great point. Dr. Carson's made an amazing point at the end, that he goes, you know what, it's all good that a person can hit a 25-foot jump shot, but if you're not able to solve a quadratic equation, which one's more important to a country? And he pointed out a great thing right there, that, you know what, America is falling behind in education. We're getting taught how to remember things, not how to learn, not how to expand our horizons and actually comprehend things. We're taught in our school system, in public schools, to learn how to remember. And that's it. You're not actually taught how to learn. I'm going to play a little bit of the speech that he gave, and it's interesting. The part that I'm going to play really shows him just towards the beginning. It's about 2.5 minutes into the speech that he gives. And President Obama, his facial expressions at this point in time, he's smiling, he's laughing, but by the end of the speech, he's realized, you know what, this guy's really nailed it on the head to actually what America needs. And you can tell that President Obama is very displeased with some of the things that Dr. Carson is saying. So I'll include a link down below to the full interview. If you want to view that, it's roughly 27 minutes long. I highly recommend it. But for now, I ask that you guys please thumbs up this video, share it with friends and family. If you're new to my videos, make sure you click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the current political news. As always, I'm Matt Larson. Go Ron Paul. Peace.
World. I've talked to very prominent Democrats, very prominent Republicans, and I was surprised by the uniformity of their answers. And those have informed my comments this morning. Now, it's not my intention to offend anyone. I have discovered, however, in recent years that it's very difficult to speak to a large group of people these days and not offend someone. And people walk around with their feelings on their shoulders waiting for you to say something. Did you hear that? And they can't hear anything else you say. The PC police are out in force at all times. I remember once I was talking to a group about the difference between a human brain and a dog's brain. And a man got offended. He said, you can't talk about dogs like that. But, you know, people just focus in on that, completely miss the point of what you're saying. And we've reached a point where people are afraid to actually talk about what they want to say because somebody might be offended. People are afraid to say Merry Christmas at Christmas time. It doesn't matter whether the person you're talking to is Jewish or, you know, whether they're any religion. That's a salutation, a greeting of goodwill. We've got to get over this sensitivity. You know, and it keeps people from saying what they really believe. You know, I'm reminded of a very successful young businessman, and he loved to buy his mother these exotic gifts for Mother's Day, and he ran out of ideas, and then he ran across these birds. These birds were cool. You know, they cost $5,000 a piece. They could dance, they could sing, they could talk. He was so excited he bought 2 of them. Sent them to his mother, couldn't wait to call her up on Mother's Day. Mother, what'd you think of those birds? And she said, they was good. He said, no, Mother, you didn't eat those birds. Those birds cost $5,000 a piece. They could dance, they could sing, they could talk. And she said, well, they should have said something. And you know, that's where we end up too if we don't speak up for what we believe. And you know, what we need to do, what we need to do in this PC world is forget about unanimity of speech and unanimity of thought. And we need to concentrate on being respectful of those people with whom we disagree. And that's when I think we begin to make real progress. And one last thing about political correctness, which I think is a horrible thing, by the way. I'm very, very compassionate, and I'm not ever out to offend anyone. But PC is dangerous. Because you see, this country, one of the founding principles was freedom of thought and freedom of expression. And it muffles people. It puts a muzzle on them. And at the same time, keeps people from discussing important issues while the fabric of their society is being changed. And we cannot fall for that trick. And what we need to do is start talking about things that are important. And one of our big problems right now, and like I said, I'm not politically correct, so I'm sorry, but our deficit is a big problem. Think about it. And our national debt, $16.5 trillion. You think that's not a lot of money? Tell you what. Count one number per second, which you can't even do because once you get to 1,000, it takes you longer than a second. But one number per second. You know how long it would take you to count the 16 trillion? 507,000 years. More than 500,000 years to get there. We have to deal with this. Here's the parable. A family falls on hard times. Dad loses his job or is demoted, gets part-time work. He has 5 children. He comes to the 5 children. He says, we're going to have to reduce your allowance. Well, they're not happy about it, but he said, except for John and Susan. They're special. They get to keep their allowance. In fact, we may give them more. How do you think that's going to go down? Not too well. Same thing happens. Enough said. What about our taxation?